recording now. And there we go. Rita, how do you want questions to work? If I read them out in chat, or do you want them out at the end?
No, we can ask questions at any point because it's a smaller group. So
Okay.
if you have a question, just put it in chat and Andrea will just interrupt me at that point. I'm
Okay.
going to ask for some interaction during my presentation, like with hands up or some kind of signal or type something in the chat and answer. So I'm asking you to be active participants. If you would do that, that would be very appreciated. And so as she said, I'm Rita Usatis. I work with NDSU Extension Service, and I'm the Family Community Wellness Agent in Cass County in Fargo, North Dakota. And this is one of the programs that we work with the Alzheimer's Association. I'm a community volunteer for them for educational outreach. And so that's how I got involved in this program. And so this program today is about science-based recommendations for taking care of our brains and bodies. We'll share some stories, offer some tips, how to make some small changes to change some of our habits. We encourage you to think about your health and your lifestyle and how you might change to live a healthier life. And that's what this workbook is that she sent out and that for you to print out we're going to go through that little workbook when we get to a few of the little sections. So my first thing, if you could put hands up or whatever, is how many of you guys are looking to do a healthier lifestyle? For some reason,
We're getting
okay.
a few thumbs up,
Oh,
a few
there's some
comments.
good. We're getting some good ones.
Yeah.
Good. In the chat's coming along good. Thank you. Some thumbs up. Well, then this program might be just for you. So we're going to go ahead and get started about it. Our objectives today are to identify how certain behaviors affect our brains and our bodies. We're going to look at strategies. I gotta get them to here. We're going to look for strategies for decision making in our following areas: sleep, smoking, mental health, physical activity, balanced nutrition, cognitive engagement, and in social engagement. So as we go through this, again, make sure you take out your workbook and fill it around because kind of it's going to be like some goal setting, okay? So I'm really excited about that. So let's begin by talking about our brain. Our brain is the control center of our entire body. It manages everything, including our thoughts and our movements. There are approximately 100 billion nerve cells called neurons in the brain. They are like structured like branches on a tree. That creates the network of pathways through which signals are sent from memories, thoughts, and feelings. Many diseases affect the brain. For example, Alzheimer's progressively destroys the brain cells as it moves through the brain, affecting more functions as the disease progresses. We know that our heart and brain are connected, and what's good for the heart is good for the brain. Now, science is able to tell us what is true and what we can do to maximize our health. Much of the brain-heart connection is due to the fact that brain is nourished by the body's richest network of blood vessels. The oxygen and other elements delivered to the brain through the bloodstream keep the brain nourished. Each time your heart beats, 20 to 25% of our blood is being moved, goes to the brain. That is why it's keeping our heart in good condition, also keeps our brain in good condition. Although this program is more about Alzheimer's and other dementias, it's helpful that we know some basic information about them. This will help us understand how they may relate to healthy living and what we can do to keep our bodies and brains in check. So let's do a little knowledge test. So thumbs up if you think this is true, thumbs down if you think it's false. Do you think Alzheimer's is a normal part of the aging process? Thumbs up if you think it's true, thumbs down if you think it's false. Okay, I'm getting a few answers. You know, I have 3 screens, so I can't really never know which one to look at here, right? And so I'm still getting some more answers. The answer is false. Alzheimer's is a progressive and fatal brain disease. Symptoms usually develop slowly and get worse over time. It's not a normal part of the aging process. Most individuals with the disease are 65 and older. After the age 65, the risk of developing Alzheimer's doubles every 5 years. After the age 85, the risk is about 1 in 3 people. So that's a startling fact if you ask me. So as we get older, it is very common to experience some age-related changes to memory or thinking abilities, such as forgetting where we left something, but then we find it later, or something having trouble finding the right words. This is known as cognitive decline. You know, I'm not that old, I don't think, but I still have those problems, right? And so we all forget, like when I'm in the office, I'm gonna go out front to tell them something I can't remember by the time I walk, you know, like 15 feet. So I have to come back to my office and start over. Dementia is a general term used to describe problems with thinking and memory that are severe enough to interfere with our daily life. Dementia is not part of aging. It is caused by brain damage that affects the cell's ability to communicate, which can affect thinking, behaviors, and feelings. Alzheimer's is the most common cause of dementia. Worldwide, there's 55 million people living with Alzheimer's or other dementias. There currently is no cure for Alzheimer's. However, there are drugs and non-drug options that can help the symptoms and have the ability to slow the disease. There's a lot of research happening currently in the field of Alzheimer's and brain activity. So now let's go ahead and talk about our overall health and how it affects our brain activity and
Rita,
our
can I
well-being.
interrupt you for a second?
Sure.
Your presentation is still on the title page. It's not flipping through on our screen.
It's not. Well, that's fun.
So I don't know, are you on like slide 7 or so?
Yeah, I'm on slide 8, actually.
Okay. Hmm.
So what do you think that is? Let me try
Great.
something different here.
Sure.
Is it flipping now?
Mm-mm.
Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing and start again.
Sure. We're on a different slide, so that's good news.
Okay, so I'm gonna just go. Did that go forward?
Well, we're on story of your health slide now.
Okay, so that did go forward. Now I just need to go back one. Did it go back?
We're still on story of your health.
Oh my Lord.
Hannah says, try clicking the present in Teams box in the top right-hand corner. Oh, on your, see in the top right-hand corner of your screen, the present in Teams button.
I know I actually right now what I have up is 3 presentations is what's on all my slides.
Oh, that moved.
I don't think present in Teams helps because that we're in Zoom, but
Okay, I just saw a slide change.
so what do you see now?
Alzheimer's and other dementia, the big green box.
And what did you see now?
Yep, so that's working now.
Is
It's
it
switching.
moving from slide to slide? So
Yep,
you don't see all the stuff around it?
correct.
Okay, I will go this way then.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Okay, I'll get back to slide 8, okay? Think
Sounds
this is where we were. Thank you for letting me know that. Now I gotta move you to another screen. Okay, so let's talk about what affects our overall health and well-being. Many factors included our health include genes, family history, our environment, and our lifestyle. As we age, it's common for us to experience some similar changes like getting gray hair, wrinkles, or needing glasses to read. But as individuals, we experience getting older in many other different ways. This is due to our genes. They're beyond our control, and they influence who we are. For example, some families grow old and live well into others, and others have a shorter lifespan. I believe I'm going to grow old to be about 100, right? Because my grandma was 100 on my mom's side, and my dad's relatives were all in the 90s, in their hundreds, and both my parents are almost 90. So I think I'm going to live to be 100. So that's why I got to work for like 20 more years. Um, so in addition, the environment where we live, we play in our work have significant effects on our health. Many of these are difficult to change and beyond our control, but we do have some control over some of our factors. And even making small changes in the following factors can make a positive impact on our life. Those are your blood pressure, your blood sugar, your weight or your BMI, and cholesterol. So it's important that you understand these numbers and know what you can and cannot do to make those changes. So what the science tells us behind this is that there is a strong connection between midlife, high blood pressure or hypertension, and later life dementia. This evidence also shows that controlling blood pressure can significantly affect your risk for cognitive decline and possible dementia. Another one is keeping diabetes control is important. Studies have shown an increase in the risk of cognitive decline and possible dementia among individuals living with diabetes. Although diabetes has not to this point been proven to cause Alzheimer's disease, so there has not been proven, but there's some scientific effects that shows it might affect it. Maintaining a healthy weight is important too. Researchers have found that midlife obesity may be associated with the increased risk of dementia. We know that good cholesterol level is good for the heart. Remember, what's good for the heart is good for the brain. So the best way to control the health concerns is to know your numbers and to keep an eye on them to see if you can make any change. How do you know your numbers? You need to be working with a healthcare provider and keep monitoring those through your healthcare provider. So we're going to do another little quiz check. Is it never too early or too late to incorporate healthy lifestyle changes? Thumbs up for true, thumbs down for false. Okay, the correct answer is true. People of all ages can benefit from adding in more healthy lifestyle changes. Okay, is it easy to make, this isn't part of the slide, is it easy to make healthy lifestyle changes? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Trying to get in a mixed bag in for answers, right? So we're going to talk about just simple things that, hopefully we can find the time to do in everyone's busy lives, because everyone has busy lives, and we're going to take a look at that. So the tips that we're going to look at today is getting quality sleep, being smoke-free, taking care of your mental health. So that's why I'm glad to hear Carly was taking a vacation. And so that's part of mental health. Get moving, eating healthy, challenging ourselves, and staying connected. We're going to look at the science behind each of these changes and what we can do to make them better to help our brain and body. So this is where your workbook's going to come in handy now. So if you can get those workbooks out, we're going to talk about it. As we touch all these areas, we're going to answer these questions. What do you enjoy? What's a gradual change that are relevant for you and how you live and how you can start now regardless of your age? So for each question, we're going to ask you one healthy habit I already have in that specific area, one change I can make now, one change I can make in 3 months, and one tip to help me make myself successful. We're going to start with sleep. Sleep is essential for overall health and well-being. Quality sleep is that essential piece. When I'm talking about quality sleep, I mean, it makes us rest and recharge, right? It also affects our ability to maintain healthy blood pressure and control diabetes. Inadequate sleep due to conditions like insomnia, sleep apnea can cause problems with memory and thinking. Sleep apnea is when we wake up several times during the night because we stop breathing and we start many times. So that's very a health concern. So how many hours of sleep do you think we should get? So can we get some? You're going to have to read those, Andrea, to me because I can't get the chat open right now.
So we have 8 to 10, 8, 8 to 9, 8 to 10, 8, 8, 8.
Okay. Well, here's our goal. We're going to ask you to aim for no less than 6 hours of rest a night. And this 6 hours means quality rest. This means no interruptions. This means no screen time. This means not getting up to go to the bathroom. This is 6 hours of quality time. We know that's not always easy, right? Because you have interruptions in your house, you have noise in your house, you have other people in your house. So those things are very difficult to manage at times. So here's your habits to think about. Do you get enough sleep? You guys can just shake your head and stuff to yourself at home. Importantly, do you get that quality sleep? I have a lot going on at work right now, and I swear I have not slept the whole night for a long time because I go to bed like at 10 o'clock because I'm going to sleep, right? And I'm awake by 3 o'clock till 5 o'clock with my brain just going, and then I fall asleep for an hour before I get up, you know? So I'm not getting that quality sleep because I can't get my brain to shut off because of my workload right now. What's the environment you sleep in? What changes might you create to help you sleep more peacefully? And how can you minimize the disruptions? Okay, you guys ready to move on to the next slide? So what the science tells us is sleep impacts our overall health. So let's take a look at our environment. I actually have my slide off. So do you get sleep better when it's cooler or warmer? I like it cold. I do much better in the winter. Does everyone in my house like it cold? Don't think so. Some of them sleep much better when it's warm. Do I like it silent or do I like a little radio in the background with some music on? I like it quiet. Do you prefer some light or complete darkness? I have to have a little light. If it's pure black, I think that like the ghost is going to come out from under my bed or something. And so that's my habits. Other people in my house might have different habits. Well, consider some changes you can make, right? More or fewer blankets. I don't care how hot it is. I have this real heavy blanket. My friends all call it the 40-pound blanket. It really isn't 40 pounds. It's a jean quilt with flannel backing, but it's heavy. I love having that heavy blanket on me, and I don't toss and turn as much. I have to have a fan blowing. I actually have a little fan about 6 inches that travels with me no matter where I go. And when I'm staying overnight, so I have to have a fan. I need to have that air movement going. A nightlight or blackout curtains, noise canceling machine, or actually a sound machine. Do you need those? To cancel some of those noise, other interruptions? Do you need to sleep in a different room than your partners, than your pets, or other family members? I could not have pets in my house, so I could not ever share a bed with a cat or a dog, and that's just me. Um, is it possible to change others' routines to help yourself? For example, setting bedtime rules for everybody in your house, turning off the TV at a certain time. Experts recommend that we shut our screen times off about an hour before we're ready to go to bed, to let our brain start going down, neutralizing, winding down to sleep. So that means everyone. That means your cell phones. That means your tablets. Do you have those cell phones and tablets right by your bed? So if it pings at 1 o'clock in the morning, you hear that. I was on vacation last week and one of my friends texted me at 20 to 11 at night because I had actually asked her to do supper the next evening, the Saturday before, right? So the night before she texted me at 20 to 11. I was like, oh my God, don't you know I go to bed? But then another friend texted me at 6:30 in the morning. It's like I have to talk to my friends. I think I have to have like a no text zone, like from like 7 in the morning, to they can text me till like 9 o'clock at night or something. So does anyone want to share in chat any challenges that you face in getting quality sleep? Can you read some to me?
So a lot are toddlers and kids,
Mm-hmm.
kids turning my brain off, husband snoring.
Yeah, yeah. So if you go to your page one of your handbook, I'm going to give you like 3 minutes to fill out those 4 questions. And so if you can do that, that would be great. One healthy habit I already have if our quality of sleep, one change you can make now, one change you like to make in 3 months, and one tip to be successful. So I'm going to give you about 3 minutes. And if you don't have the workbook, you guys just take a piece of paper out and write the answers on a piece of paper. Doesn't 3 minutes seem like forever? Our next aspect that we're going to talk about is being smoke-free. What we have found out that smoking does have a direct impact on our health of our brain. Studies have found that smoking increases the risk of cognitive decline and increases the risk of dementia. Quitting smoking may reduce a person's chance of developing cognitive decline back down to the levels of non-smokers. Quitting smoking reduces the risk of a heart attack, stroke, and lung disease. It gives you better blood circulation. And you also want to avoid secondhand smoking if you can as well. So if you're currently smoking, think about ways you could stop. What could help you stop smoking or stay smoke-free? So think about this question. And what resources do you have available in, are most everyone from the Grand Forks area, Andrea, or are they from all over?
Probably all over.
Okay, so what resources do you have in your community that could help you become smoke-free? So if does anyone want to put some available online or in community resources that you have available to share with everybody else in your communities? Anyone writing anything?
So in Fargo, ND stopped smoking. Let's see, I'm just putting in Lemoore County. We have our public health does quite a bit with smoking and tobacco prevention.
I believe that's all counties have a really good help with that, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I think some of our larger medical facilities, All True, Sanford, Essentia, all have some resources for us as well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what we do know is quitting is hard. What you need to do is find some quit lines that you can talk to your other doctor or health professionals. Look for some smoking cessation programs or strategies that work for you. So it is hard. We're gonna admit that. My father smoked for years and he quit cold turkey one day, probably 50 years ago. And he hasn't gone back. And that's when his kids were little, when we were growing up, that one day he decided he had to quit because of the secondhand smoke that he was giving us kids. The next area we're going to talk about is mental health. So it's important to prioritize yourself. Take time for self-care. Now, I'm going to do this, and you don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but thumbs up if you can take good care of yourself. Give yourself some self-care. Thumbs down if you guys are horrible at it. And I'm going to say the majority will probably be thumbs down, right? Because we always prioritize something else before ourselves, right? I'm horrible at it. It's like, oh, there's another meeting or there's something else. Oh, yeah, my mom, dad need help. Oh, yeah. We're not very good at that. What I want you to know that we need to pay attention to our own stress levels or any symptoms of anxiety, depression, or other concerns. These affect our health brains. We know everyone has lots on your plate, right? Maybe you care for others, you're juggling a heavy workload, you're dealing with life with unexpected surprises. That always happens, right? But what we want to do is find ways, some simple ways that we can take care of ourselves. I'm actually on page 2 of your workbook. I skipped the smoking section, and we're going to go down to taking care of your health for mental health. So, what are some things you enjoy to do? Can some of you guys type some of those in your book, please? Or into the chat, I mean. What are some things you like to do to take care of yourself? So even if we're busy, how can you do some of these things in little segments?
So we have some answers coming in: yoga, fresh air, gardening, eating healthy, running, yoga, read, walk the dog, reading, running,
To
napping.
those that are runners, that would cause me stress.
Yeah. Making a point to reach out to my friends, massage, going out with friends, time with family, going to the beach, working out, hanging with friends, eating healthy, go to recovery meetings, going on walks.
Those are all wonderful things, right? And so thank you for all sharing those great ideas, because that's what we need to do is we need to take care of ourselves. So we're going to take a look at some things that we can do for taking care of ourselves. Taking a 15-minute nap. I mean, 15-minute nap never works for me. I'm just more tired, right? Go for a walk. People say, I don't have time to go for a walk. It takes all this energy. But maybe you can walk 10 minutes the first day, right? Maybe you find a friend to do that walk with. And so you have a 2-in-1, right? You get to talk to a friend, you get to walk, and pretty soon that 10 minutes is 20 minutes. And you can just clear your brain. And maybe you can do it outside and get the fresh air. Look at all the things are adding up in one time for a 10-minute walk. So you go dancing. Do you like to dance? Go dancing. That actually has a lot of benefits for your heart. Maybe you can sing a song. Maybe you just need to bake a treat, and sometimes you just need that special treat to make you happy and smile. Some people love reading books, and that's their break because it's 15 minutes away from everybody and you're indulged in your book. Maybe you want to watch a funny video. Maybe it's making art. I love to mosaic. You know, but most people think it's a challenge because it kind of, you got to like cut this glass and make a picture out of it, right? So you have to kind of put in, take out. That's relaxing to me. A lot of people like to cook or bake. Sometimes my friends said, "What? I have to cook?" That's not relaxing to them. Laughter. Laughter is one of our best medicines for taking self-care. So try to laugh. So I'd like to thank you for some of the ideas that you guys shared. Um, in our book, I want you to go to take care of your mental health. And I'm going to give you 3 minutes again to answer the following questions. One healthy habit I have, one change I can make now, one change I can make in 3 months, and one tip to be successful. 3 minutes. Okay. So we're going to go on to our next little idea of getting moving. Physical activity can improve brain health. There is so much research out there on this that physical activity affects our brain and helps us keep as healthy as possible. They actually say that physical activity is associated with lower risk of cognitive declines. A lot of researchers say if you change one thing, it should be physical activity. From this whole list that I'm reading today of strategies, if you can change one thing, it's physical activities. You know, it has so many benefits. It directly affects our brain cells by increasing blood and oxygen flow. It also reduces other dementia risks, such as high blood pressure and diabetes. It needs to be on a regular basis, and we're hoping at more of a brisk, vigorous side. So that's a brisk walk. That's a walk that you kind of, your heart rate's getting up. It's not a stroll down the street, um, or window shopping at the mall, okay? It's a kind of a brisk walk. Um, Other factors that help with this are, you know, walking and strength trainings. However, there's not one single activity that's known as the key, as the recipe, right? So some might be strength activities, some might be just walking, some might be more yoga or tai chi. So whatever works for you, it works great. Here's the very most important piece of this is that um, any increase in movement is a positive change. So just remember that any increase in movement is positive. You know, my blood pressure was up and I didn't want to take a blood pressure pill. So I just increased my walk like 5 minutes a day. So in place, and also for not having to take blood pressure pills, it's also saving me money. So I'm getting like a double benefit of not doing that. And I was kind of like you. It's like, I don't have time to walk. My life is schedule is busy. But you know, my goal is that I do walk every day, maybe 10 minutes at one time and 15 minutes at another time. I try to do the 30 minutes at one time, but sometimes that doesn't work. So however you can get it into your schedule, it works, right? So here's your next questions to do. What activities do I want to try? How can I build more physical activity in my day? And who can I ask to join me? So if anyone wants to write those in the chat, answer those questions, I would appreciate that. Is there yoga in there and Tai Chi? Walking?
Yep, so still having people come in. I said I would like to try boxing. I think that would be kind of fun. Walking. I know I
Can
like
someone
to
tell me,
go ahead.
can someone say, how do you think you can build more activity into your day? What are some things you can do?
Recently got an under desk elliptical.
For those in the working world, you know, we do get 15-minute breaks for every 4 hours you work. How many of us are very good about taking that 15-minute break? So that's one idea. Take that 15-minute break and actually walk. You're smiling, Andrea. I take it that you're not very good at that.
Yeah, not exactly.
I'm not either. So that's just one idea. Who can I ask to join me? You know, sometimes physical activity is more fun when we have someone to do it with. And sometimes we just need that first person to ask you to join you to make it work. I would procrastinate it for so long because I wanted to do water aerobics, but I did not want to go to the gym. I did not. I mean, I must have complained for about 3 months at the office. I need to do this. I need to do this. I don't want to go to the gym by myself, right? Finally, one of my secretaries said, I'll meet you at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning at the gym. We're doing this. It's like, we did that. And then I did it for like 6 years. So it was that first person to invite me that says, I will join you. So sometimes you need that encouragement from a friend or a family member to get you to start doing that 10-minute walk or that join that gym or whatever you might do. Sometimes you might have to get up earlier in the morning and just do that 15 minutes before the chaos in your house starts and say, you're saying, oh, Rita, I'm already getting up at 5:30 in the morning because I have to pack lunches and get 3 kids ready for school and blah, blah, blah. I understand that. But remember, we need to take care of ourselves, and physical activity is one of the best ways to take care of ourselves. So just think about it, that investing in yourself to invest in the future of everybody in your family and your work family and your family. So start small. If you're not at physical activity, start small, find things you already like to be part of and gradually build up to it. As always, we always say, if you're starting something that's more vigorous, check with your doctor or healthcare provider before you start, because we don't want you to do something that to do more damage to yourself, if that might happen. Eating healthy also. A healthy diet is very important to risk of many diseases. What we know, again, is what's good for the heart, is good for the brain. The same thing comes with the food we eat. We know that a healthy fuel for the body benefits brain function. Eating a balanced diet reduces your risk of heart disease, cancer, Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's disease, stroke, diabetes, and there is so much more. There is so much research out there that shows that. And this is a great time to go to page 1-3 of your book, talking about eating a balanced diet. We're going to talk about that because what's in season now, and they're reasonable, fruits and vegetables. And so if you want to start a new habit, fruits and vegetables is a perfect time of year. We know there's a lot of research out there. There's 2 examples that are perfect out there. It's called DASH, the Dietary Approach to Stop Hypertension, in the Mediterranean diet. These diets are very specific routines or foods that they recommend that you eat. The DASH diet is, I have to read it to you so I say it. has a lot of research that says it lowers your hypertension and improves your blood lipids, or the fats in your bloodstream. They also, there's a lot of research that it helps decrease or developing heart disease or cardiovascular disease. It also has shown research that it lowers the risk of osteoporosis, cancer, stroke, and diabetes. The Mediterranean diet incorporates the basics of healthy eating along with traditional cooking styles of the countries from the Mediterranean. That's how it got its name. So that meant it has a lot of fruits and vegetables in it. It has a lot of fish and healthier fats in it, because that's what you find in the Mediterranean. These are just two examples. There's lots of examples out there, you guys. So we're not recommending one or the other. What we're recommending is that you find a diet that's a balanced nutrition diet. There's just lots of them out there. What we want you to do, though, is make sure that you're incorporating fruits and vegetables. And it doesn't matter if they're fresh fruits and vegetables, canned fruits and vegetables, frozen fruits and vegetables, they're all very healthy and important. And so you want to try to eat the recommended servings of fruits and vegetables. We want you to include nuts, beans, and whole grains. Half your diet should be whole grains. Whole grains is popcorn, right? That's a whole grain. Look on your bread label. Make sure it says whole grain and not just wheat bread. Okay, this has to say whole grains on it. Look for lean meats, fish, and poultry. If you have poultry, take the skin off before you cook it. Cut the extra fat off some of the meats if you have it for the lean meats. You want to make sure you're using some healthier fats. Those are your polyunsaturated and monounsaturated fats, kind of like your olive oils or avocado oils. They're healthier fats for you. They actually have some health benefits to your body. And then we want you to limit your sugars and salts. And that's a lot of your processed foods, right? Sugars and salts, and that's, try to limit all those. So here's the thing, you guys are all saying, I can't stop, I can't stop. It's never too late to change your diet. It's never too late to make one health change. Studies shows that making even a change in later in our life can affect our brain health. So any change, no matter what age, affects our brain health. Here's one key I'm going to say, though, is don't try to make a change in every area of this tomorrow, because by Friday you will quit. So you need to decide, okay, for the next 2 weeks, I'm going to try to include the fruits and vegetables in my diet and make that a habit. And then the next week or the next month, you add another piece to that diet, right? So you gradually make these changes in your diet as you go along. Don't do them all at one time. So here's some questions to ask. How can I cook differently to make my meals healthier? What healthy foods can I swap in? And what new foods am I willing to try? So someone can you guys go, what healthy foods can I swap in? Can you answer that question in the chat, please?
Sweet potatoes.
Sweet potato, yes.
That's good.
And not sweet potato fries, just sweet potatoes.
Veggie noodles, oatmeal.
Oatmeals are great whole grain. You can eat that for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Light items.
Light, so you want to be careful with the word light on there, because they're not always truly healthier. They just might have less sugar. I mean, they'll probably still benefit, but make sure you're comparing labels.
Turkey sausage, Brussels sprouts, eggs, spinach, avocado.
Some really good ideas in there. Thank you for sharing them. So if you can go to page 3, we're on the bottom part of that. Again, we have those 3 questions for you to answer. So I'm going to just go through some tips here first, and then I want you to fill out your book. Use olive oil instead of butter in preparing foods. You need very little olive oil. A lot of people don't like using olive oil because it has a stronger taste, right? But even a canola oil is healthier than butter. Okay. A lot of times you can cook with that non-aerosol spray, in place of butter. There's lots of sodium-free spices out there if they're flavorings instead of salt. You know, there's garlic salt and there's garlic powder, and same with onion. Use the powder version because then you cut out the salt. Don't add extra salt when cooking rice, pasta, or hot cereal. Read the labels, choose low sodium or no salt options. Focus on what you can add instead of what you're taking away, such as adding fruit as a snack, okay? Or a vegetable to your pasta. You're adding them in, you're not taking something away. Again, choose plain, frozen, or fresh vegetables. Build meals around vegetables, beans, and whole grains. Choose fresh or frozen skinless poultry, fish, or lean meats. They are saying eating fish a couple times a week. And then how about serving fresh fruit as a dessert? So would anyone like to share how you can incorporate healthy options in your diet? I expect some of my answers saying I can eat watermelon for dessert.
I know for me, it starts at the grocery store. So just trying really hard not to bring unhealthy food into the home.
You know, another hint I have is because we have, I pick stuff in the garden, right? So I pick cucumbers, but if I put them in the fridge and don't peel them and cut them, they stay in the fridge. But if I take them in, peel them and cut them, put them in a container, and they're ready to go, I grab them for a snack. So my hint is prepare the food right away and put them in containers, because then you'll grab them.
Someone just added that in the comments too, slicing veggies and fruits and have them ready to snack on.
Right. So there's some things we can do to help prepare ahead of time. We have a little note about vitamins and supplements. There are so many vitamins and supplements. We want you to know that there's potential for false claims on these vitamins and minerals, right? They don't recommend any right now, the World Health Organization, to help reduce the risk of cognitive decline or dementia. They want you to focus on a balanced nutrition, again, to focus that healthy brain and body. And then if you have any health deficiencies as far as that you have concern about, talk to your health professional about what you should add. They're very costly, and they're not right now. The research is improving to be a benefit. So also be aware that labels for supplements cannot make drug claims or state that they alleviate symptoms of any disease. So any of those claims cannot be on the labels of the vitamins and minerals. So again, the best way to understanding vitamins and supplements is to talk to your health professional before adding them in. Because there's a lot of people that promised if you take this drug, it will increase your brain power by 100%. Be very wary of something like that. Challenge your brain may help lower your risk of cognitive decline. True or false? Thumbs up for true, thumbs down for false.
We're getting a lot of trues, thumbs ups.
Yeah, the answer is true. Continuing to challenge our brains as we age lower the risk of cognitive decline. You know, we still have to continue trying to read or do some gains, right? To challenge our brain. There's research out there that says it has short-term and long-term benefits for our brain. My mom, who's 86, still bakes chocolate chip cookies for everyone for Christmas, or like every month, because that's her brain activity. She said it keeps me active to continue measuring and keep baking. And so my mom's, that's what she tells me, is her brain activity is baking. And I know this sounds weird, but we always say when she passes away, we're giving everyone chocolate chip cookies, because there's always chocolate chip cookies at my mom's house, no matter when you stop. So, that's her activity. So what is, cognitive or mental engagement? That means it's keeping our minds active and challenged. So this can be learning a new skill, working on a challenging task, going online and learning something. So that's what cognitive engagement is. What the science tells us is that keeping your mind active starts new cognitive connections amongst our brain cells. Cognitive engagement and encourages blood flow to the brain. Mentally stimulating activities possibly maintains or even improves cognitive, and engaging in formal education may keep our brain healthy. And again, prevent us from developing some dementia. So how many of you guys see people that go back to school like in their 80s to get their degrees? And you think, why would they do that? Well, you know what? They're telling us what science is telling us. They're using their brain, they're learning something new, and they're keeping their active brain active. So, again, we want you to do something that you can do that's good for you. Sometimes it's not what the next person sitting next to you wants to do. So what are some new hobbies or skills you want to learn? What activities sound like a fun challenge? And what topics would I like to learn more about? Just remember, what you find challenging, the next person might not like to do. I don't think I could ever knit again in my life. Because, knitting would be challenging, right? Because you got to knit 2, purl 1, knit 2, purl 1. And someone else would think that's just a nice challenging thing. Some people like to do puzzles. Did anyone put anything in the chat?
Not yet for this one.
Okay, well, some tips. Take a class at a college or community center on a new topic or skill. Maybe there's something out there that you find that you want to do. Try a new cooking technique. Boy, there's air pots out there. There's Instapots out there. That's a new cooking technique. How about learn a new language? Right? We all need to learn new languages. Build a piece of furniture. Not my cup of tea, okay? Learn how to play a new strategy game like chess. Not my cup of tea. But there's a game out there called Boggle. I think it's called Boggle. Boshi. I don't remember what it's called, but it's like putting tiles together and you try to block the other person's tiles so they can't move across the board. Oh, I just love it. And so that's a challenging game. So I like that. But chess wouldn't be my game, but it might be your game. Create something artistic, learn to paint, learn to play a new instrument. Maybe doing a jigsaw or a crossword puzzle. Maybe that's what you want to do. They also say doing jigsaw puzzles also helps reduce stress. Cognitive engagement is all about solving a problem that has you stumped and you figure out ways to approach a similar task in a more efficient way. See, doing a puzzle would make me stumped. And so I'd have to figure out how to do that. So you have to kind of think ahead and make plans to make the change. So that's like how you're going to make one step ahead of your opponent, right? Well, I do have a caution here. Just remember that computer games that are meant to improve memory and attention span are an exciting area of ongoing study to evaluate their impact. None of these have currently proven that they do any good, right? So they're researching that. So just beware of those that are being marketed for that at this point. So can you guys type in chat one more time? What sort of mentally engaging activities you like to do?
I like to do Sudoku.
Oh, I love Sudoku. I have 2 books laying like everywhere. Yeah.
Another Sudoku. Quilting, crochet, reading, Sudoku again. Crossword puzzles, word search and reading.
So on page 4 of the book, the top part of that, it has challenge yourself, but we're going to go to stay connected because it's already 2:26. So we're going to just go to stay connected. We know that it's very important that we stay connected socially. It has many health benefits. We really heard that about COVID, right? When we were all isolated and how devastating it was to everybody. So staying socially active supports our brain health. A lot of us need to be around people. For people. So Social engagement is associated with living longer with fewer disabilities. Those who feel well connected tend to make healthier choices in other areas of their life as well. So we need to be around people, have that social engagement. So what does that mean? You know, for me, how do I stay connected with others? We have a group of friends and we try to do happy hour one time a month, right? We go out after work. We stay connected that way. I have another group of friends and we go to Bison football games. So I have different groups that I do different things with. So you're not always with the same people. That's what we like to do. We have a friend that we just walk, right? But I have another friend that lives a ways away. We talk on the phone. So that's how we stay connected. You can get involved in your community. You'll say, I don't have my family or friends around me. Volunteer. Volunteer somewhere in your community. They're always looking for them, no matter what size your community, and you still can be socially engaged. Or is there a group that you'd like to join? Is there something in your community that you can be involved in, right? I work with NDS Extension, and we have 4-H in every county in North Dakota. And can you volunteer to judge at an event? Can you volunteer to help their achievement days or their fear? Maybe you can teach a lesson to them. So there's opportunities no matter where you live to stay connected or belong to groups. So think of those ways that you can stay connected or volunteer, or how you can make phone calls or make standing dates to go out with your friends. Again, volunteer for a cause that's important to you, schedule regular phone calls or video chats to stay in touch, visit friends and families, participate in events in your community. When I first started Extension, I moved to a rural community in North Dakota and I knew nobody, right? That's 3 hours from home, but I got involved in the school sports because I love school sports. And so I would go to sports and I gained friends. So go to activities that you enjoy. What we want you to know, you can live healthy for your brain and body. You need to get quality sleep. You need to be smoke free. You need to take care of your mental health, get moving, eat healthy, challenge yourself, and stay connected. What we want you to do is pick one of those and start tomorrow. Not one from each area, but one of them. And then next month, add another one to try to live healthy for your brain and body. So if you want help with more related Alzheimer's, if you know with Alzheimer's disease, we recommend that you call the Alzheimer's Association and look for their resources. So that's all I have. Does anyone have any questions? I'm going to stop sharing so I can actually bring you all up on screen. Does anyone have any questions? See, now I can see all the comments too. But I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you took something away from this, that it's not too late to start. And any little improvement you can make is a health benefit. Someone asked if they didn't get the handbook, where we can get one. Can you put it in the link again?
Yep, I put it directly to them and also in the chat.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, it's a great handout. And go ahead and share that handout, right, Rita?
Yeah, go ahead and share that handout.
If you work with people, give it to them, give it to your spouse, kids, coworkers, parents.
I like this last comment. Enjoy it. Learn what I needed to do for me. And that's what we want you to do. Take care of yourself. So thank you, everybody.
Yes. Yes, thanks for joining us again, Rita.
You're welcome.
Just a little housekeeping for the people that weren't here right away. For those that want to apply for CEUs, I'll get the recording and survey out to our tech team in the next 5-10 minutes. Sometimes it takes them a day or two to get it live on our website, but usually it's up in a day or two, but Friday will be the last, the latest that it would be up. But you can go ahead and go to ndbin.org and then find our webinar Wednesday page, and then it'll be under the recorded webinars. And then you just click the little CEU request link and follow the steps there. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me anytime. I'll put my email address in the chat too. Okay, I think that is it then, unless anybody else has any questions. So thanks everybody for joining us today.